How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and after my long-awaited hiatus, I have finally returned because there's a fun new gacha game coming around the corner. It's called Etheria Restart. You've probably heard about it from some content creators already. I know some of the big dogs like Vulcan, Sean B, even Tectone. They all made videos on the game, and I think for fair reason, because I find it really fun. I played the most recent beta. I think the PvE is well thought out. I think the character designs are really good. Even the PvP I'm looking forward to, and personally, I play all gacha games free to play. I just think that's the most fun way to do it. Praise the whales, they keep the games alive, but yeah, I like playing free to play. So I will say this video will be from the perspective of a free to play player, and I'm hoping I can give you some helpful advice because there's a topic that I just feel like I haven't seen other people really point out, so to speak. You can infer it from some of the content that's been made, but my main point I wanted to get across was that I don't think DPS are really needed in this game. Now, sure, later in the game, they will assist massively because they will speed up your content. Time is money. The quicker you can get things done, the quicker you can go out and enjoy the rest of your life and not cry about gacha all day. But in terms of when you first get into the game and you want to clear everything, all your PvE game modes, and even push quite far in PvP too, I think there are some crucial characters, most of which are actually just SR characters too, which is incredible. And I've kind of made a list. I want to run you through it all and tell you why I think these are the best characters you should build off the bat, because I think you'll use them for many, many weeks, even months to come. I'm starting us off just over on Pridewin, because I want to use their tier list as an example to kind of explain what I was on about. But if I scroll down, I'll start us off on the Aurora threshold. And just to let you know, the left column is the DPS column. So as you can see here, there's just 2 DPS in tier 0. That's Rosa and Shadow Sanya. Shadow Sanya is one of the dark element characters, so she'll be harder to get in the first place. So for the context of this video, let's just say all light and darks, you're not going to have them because they are hard to get. But I think everyone will have at least 1 or 2 on their account. So there's potential you do have them. So let's say 2 DPS that can be used on Aurora. Then if we jump over to Doki Doki, you can see there's actually only 1 tier 0 DPS. That is Real Mocha, Real Mocha, however you want to pronounce it. For fair reason. In terms of green DPSs, there just isn't really someone that compares to her. I did actually build Real Mocha on my last account, and yeah, I can guarantee you she is very, very strong in the Doki Doki boss fight. But again, you see there's only 1 DPS, 1 tier 0 DPS. Just keep that in mind. And then we go over to Terramaton. You can see there are 3 DPS in Terramaton. One of those being Messiah. He's a light and dark unit. Again, hard to get your hands on, although he is in the rate up banner when you first start the game. So if you do want to spend a bit of money, you can get your hands on him real easy. And then I think Victor is that 4-star you can see named there. But the important thing I kind of wanted to point out here actually was that Liane, the 5-star that you can see at the top there, she gets given to you for free at the start of the game. So you get a tier 0 DPS character for free. Just keep that in mind. All in all though, that meant there were only 6 tier 0 DPS characters. And what's the role of a DPS? To do damage per second. Here's the funny thing about Etheria Restart though. There's no timers. You can clear any mode at whatever speed you like. So what is the point in doing it faster other than just to save you time? And now as I flicked through these, you may have also seen some recurring characters across the rest of the field. For context, the second column is debuffers. The third column is supporters, and the fourth column is healers/tanks. So right now we're on Terramaton, and I want to point out Dina, that is the 4-star character in the debuff slot you can see at the top there, as well as Marvel, the third of the debuff characters, light and dark unit, just down the bottom. Marvel, if you don't know, he's busted, basically. He sets the enemies back, he gives them resistance down, speed down. Basically, he's just going to keep your turns chugging, and their turns non-existent. Again, we'll jump back over to Doki Doki. Under Doki Doki, you see Marvel's there again. You're going to see that as a recurring theme in this video and probably every other video from every other content creator you watch. Yeah, he's busted. And then we also see Kazuyo, another great unit, very specific for Doki Doki, I will say, but very useful, and you do get her for free. She's not a character you have to pull. They actually give you an item where you can select her, so very useful. And then going back to the first of the bosses, Aurora, you can once again see Dina and Marvel. I don't think I should have to explain to you why you should build characters that appear multiple times under tier 0. they're probably good. Now, aside from just knowing they are good, it's kind of important to understand why they're good, especially in the different bosses, because they all have quite unique differences. To explain this, I've thrown something together in Tier List Maker that we'll jump over to now, and hopefully I can run you through it all. So we're now over here in Tier List Maker, and what I'm going to do first is explain exactly what each boss does and what they need. Aurora is of the red type, and the main things you need for Aurora are Dispel and Cleanse. As you can see, I've just written on the side there. Below that, we have Doki Doki. Doki Doki needs crowd control. That's it. If you can crowd control, you can get through the stage. And then lastly, there's Terramaton, which in the past has actually been a little bit tricky, but is about to become a whole lot easier thanks to a new unit that they're introducing. But essentially, a Terramaton is green type, just needs Dispel, and in an ideal world, Cleanse, but we'll focus on the Dispel. And then you can also see at the bottom there, I've created a universal role. These are the units that I think you can build and use them in every single game mode. Again, take that with a pinch of salt. For example, you're not going to use Dina in Doki Doki because Dina is a red type. Therefore, she is extra weak to the blue types of Doki Doki. I think that's pretty common sense, but I will put that out there. Marvel, he's a light unit. He can go in any single one of these. If you want to put him in Terramaton, you can put him in Terramaton. If you want to put him in Doki Doki, you can put him in Doki Doki. You want to put him in Aurora? Put him in Aurora. No one's going to stop you because he is tier 0. Then we have the aforementioned Dina. She's incredible in Terramaton. She can output damage, but her main function is actually the defense break that she applies. And then once again, she's also tier 0 in Aurora, largely due to her defense break once again. If you played a few other gacha games, you're probably already aware that defense break just tends to be really overpowered, and it's the same here. Popping Dina back down into Universal, we have 2 other units down there. That's Valerian and Sanya. Valerian is a light unit, so once again, not weak to any of these. She is a great healer to build, especially if you don't manage to pull a 5-star healer. Sanya is green type, so she'll do great for you in both Terramaton as well as Doki Doki. And admittedly, she's not the best in Aurora, but the first unit you can actually see up in Aurora, just here, Lingluo, we do get her for free. After 7 days, you get her for free, you just complete some challenges, and she's yours. However, in that early game, when you're wanting to push, you might just need to use Sanya or Valerian just to get you that little step further, and then when you get Lingluo, just build her up, because she will be the better option. Now my goal with this list was basically to make 10 units that will clear you the entire game. Yes, I know there's 11, so I couldn't quite fit it in just 10. I hope that's okay with you guys. But as you can see in this list, the only DPS is Lian, and you get given her for free. To show you what a full 5 teams would look like for each of these bosses using these units, Aurora, you got Viper, Obel, Lingluo. I would then throw in Dina, as well as Marvel, and that team will clear Aurora all the way up to hell for you. Again, it does take 7 days to get Lingluo, unless you pull her on the banner. Very unfortunate. But in the meantime, she can easily be replaced by Valerian or Sanya, preferably Valerian. And all 5 of those units are SRs, 4-stars, whatever you want to call them, not a single DPS. Dropping down now to Doki Doki, it's going to start off the same way actually all of these should have started off. Marvel. So you've got Kazuyo, you've got Kraken, they both provide the crowd control. You now have Marvel for his delay, as well as his speed down, resist down, all that sort of stuff. You'll put in a sustain, so again, Lingluo is the preference. However, if you don't have her yet, you put in Sanya, you put in Valerian, you'll be okay. Honestly, from that point, I wouldn't even worry about what your 5th unit is. Just put in any unit that's not red and is going to fill that gap you need. If you need more heals, put in Sanya. If you want to clear a bit faster, Mizuki will be a green type, and Obel also does some good damage. But the main point being that these 4 units are your best free-to-play options for Doki Doki, and not a single one is a DPS. Then we drop down to Terramaton, and I will say I think Terramaton is the most difficult, especially from a free-to-play perspective. Yes, you get Lian as a free-to-play 5-star, but I think that proves my point even more, that when you're given a free-to-play 5-star, they're still not enough to help you run through that content. You need the proper pieces to put together your team and overcome the boss mechanics. This is the only boss fight where Lingluo is not the tier 0 healer because she's a blue type and Terramaton is a green type. So we won't be using her here. In an ideal world, you have Hellkid or even Mia. I can't see her. I don't know where she is down below, but that's another option. But again, we're free to play. We don't have Hellkid. So instead, your healer's going to be Sanya or Valerian. Once again, nice and easy. I actually prefer Sanya in this one because she has a revive, and there will be times where Terramaton will just one-shot one of your characters. On top of that, she provides great cleansers, so all around, my preferable choice. You may or may not have actually heard about this unit here. They were recently revealed in a new announcement from the Etheria Restart team. We don't have the exact details, but you could actually see in the gameplay that they had 2 dispel effects, one on their ultimate, one on their single target, their basic, which is perfect for Terramaton. They are a green type, so there's no type advantage, but that's fine. The only thing you want to avoid is type disadvantage. Once again, surprise, we're going to move Marvel down, and on top of that, Dina too. Dina's a red type, so she has type advantage. Marvel's light type, so he's fine. He's chilling. And once again, there you go. That's a full free-to-play, 4 4-stars, 1 free 5-star. And that will clear you Terramaton, no problems whatsoever. It really does blow my mind that with these 11 units, 3 of which are just given to you, those being Lingluo, Lian, as well as Kazuyo, you can clear all of the content. Now, I'll go back to what I said earlier. Yes, if you have DPS built up, they will help you clear the content faster. And that is important, if you have a life especially. But promise me when I say, if you have a team of 3 DPS, you're not going to clear. You won't have the right mechanics to help you out in the boss. So just shifting this background to its original position, quick TLDR, Viper here, he's going to dispel for you. Obel here, he also provides dispel. And Ling Luo, she's going to cleanse. Those are the 2 key things you need for Aurora. In Doki Doki, Kazuya and Kraken both give crowd control. That is what you need for Doki Doki. That is it, plain and simple. And in Terramaton, Lian is your free DPS, and Kazuyo is your dispel. Throw Sanya in there for some cleanse, just to be extra safe, and you're good to go. And before anyone says it, that's not me saying that Hellkid, that Heinrich, that Lily, that Messiah, that Beyontin, that Rosa, that Tiamat, that Tsukimiya, that Romocha, that's not me saying they aren't all cracked. They are. If I can pull all of those units, I will be happy as Larry. But 3 of those units are light dark, and it would require 720 pulls of perfect hits. I'm not expecting that to happen. But anyway, I hope I explained that all okay. I hope I gave you guys some ideas for your free-to-play accounts. And thank you for watching. I'll see you on launch day.